Welcome back to Lewis Sharp Fish Tank and Chinchilla. And today I think I'm gonna do something different. I think I'm going to go through more of like an educational standpoint on things and really start to explain, like, for those people that really want to get into the hobby, especially with today fish keeping. That's what I'm gonna go through. I'm gonna really show you like the filters to use, what the filters are, how they work, and like the flow in the tank, the rock, the sand, all that kind of stuff. So maybe if I thought you guys might find this helpful, maybe, and I hope it works out for you guys. I hope you like it. Oh, also big shout out to Waru Joey, the king of DIY. If you're watching this, please give me a like. Shout me out, Joey. Please, please. Okay, tip number one. You need water movement. So this right here, it's a wave maker. This is definitely a big upscale from most of the ones that you guys would have on a tank. It's pretty big, but the key thing is it doesn't really matter. You could have this, you could have a filter making the movement at the top of the tank. Like, so this tank's so long that I got this, and then also the filter output is also making the movement at the top of the tank. So see how it's moving all the time? See, you never want still water at the top of the tank. If there's still water, then that's just a bad thing. The fish can't breathe, they lose oxygen, and it just keeps them active and it keeps them healthy. Also, it helps with all the detritus, all the poop and stuff, and all the food that's just laying around. So notice how there's nothing on the bottom of the sand. That's just because these keep it moving, it sucks it up, it keeps it all moving, and then it blows into the filter over there. Also, guys, these tips can be for both freshwater and saltwater. Obviously, salt. Tip number two, you're gonna need a heater. So I've got a pretty big heater back there. Actually, this one's brand new. My other heater broke. So this one, it's rated for, I think it's rated for 200 gallons, but you always want to go a little bit bigger than recommended because this is a 125, so I went with a 200 gallon just in case it can't heat the full tank. And some people even use two heaters, but I don't have a lot of room on the back of my tank, so I didn't want to. So this is definitely it, and it's controlled over here, so like a fail safe. So this is where it gets controlled. So I keep it at 77, and if this thing ever breaks, then this makes sure it doesn't go below or above and burn all my fish and kill them. All right, guys, tip number three here, filtration, obviously. So this one's a little tricky. So you could go with, right here, what I've got a canister filter. So this is a huge filter. Look, it's rated for this whole, it's rated for double the size of this tank. But thing is, you could do whatever you want. So you can do whatever you want, really. If you have a little 5-gallon tank, you really don't need that huge of a filter, or even any filter, honestly. Especially with saltwater, you could get away with having this rock, I know it sounds crazy, as a beneficial bacteria filter. So that's one way you could do it. Or you could get a little hang on the back filter that just is, it helps, it sucks it out. The traditional filter that goes on tanks. So that's one way you could do it. This is a little more upscale. All right, guys, tip number four. So especially for saltwater aquariums, I recommend this very highly because it really is just it's a beast. All right, it helps out so much, and I've seen so much progress since I've gotten this. So this is a protein skimmer. So what it does, let me see if it's going right now. So what it does is it's little bubbles that hit the water, and it makes the waste, and then it goes into this cup and gets all the waste out of the water. So it's just another type of filtration. But honestly, for saltwater aquarium, I honestly think it is necessary. This is a hang on the back one. Some people have big sumps under the tank and have this in it, but I think this is the most helpful thing, honestly. You run a whole tank just off that, honestly. The rock and then this. That's my perspective on things. So tip number five. So when starting up the tank, I would have loved to have you guys walk through this, me building this whole entire tank up. It would have been perfect, but it's a little too late for that. But so what I did is this is probably around, say, 100 pounds of dry rock, and they recommend a pound per gallon. So this is a 125, so I went a little bit under, but I mean, they like it, it's all right. So you definitely need some live rock in a saltwater aquarium. That's a must. I mean, you could get away with like the fake rock and stuff, but I mean, honestly, it gives a more natural look, as you can see. But what really is cool about it is bacteria grows on it. It actually helps filter the tank, which I find awesome. Also, I'll do this in with this because it's the same thing. Also, you definitely need some sort of live sand. I know that sounds weird, but everything is like, if it has bacteria on it, it's alive. So basically, this sand is also helping filter my tank because it's all alive. So bacteria is a must in a saltwater aquarium. With freshwater, it's a little different. You could do driftwood as the rocks. You're not going to get that beneficial bacteria filter from the rock and freshwater, obviously. But all right, guys, last tip number 6. Especially, actually, in any section of the hobby, freshwater or saltwater, you definitely need a fish room. I mean, I have a fish closet. I'm trying, all right? I'm trying, guys. This is all I got. But so this is what I have. I've got, because my room is getting a little cluttered, so I emptied out my closet, and I've got more room. It's going to keep elevating. I got my trash bin, which I make all the water in, and then my goldfish that I feed the saltwater fish. I also feed them frozen and stuff, but this really just helps with decluttering everything. Okay, guys, so I hope you guys liked the way I set up today's video. I did more of an educational standpoint, and that's going to wrap it up. Please like and subscribe. Joey, thank you for all you do for this hobby. Appreciate it, and that's going to be it.